Hello the internet! It is Saturday the 23rd of October 2021 and welcome back to the channel. Got a very simple question. I guess no one really has an answer to this, I don't think. Simple question is, you know the new Apple Macs, the laptops, the MacBook Pros, we've got the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. I've got my eyes on a Max myself. How come we haven't seen any? How come there aren't any out there? How come Apple send review units of phones to all the YouTubers but not laptops? That's the simple as this goes. That's the question I have today. That's the only question I have. How come when you want to search up a new phone, the day of the release, the NDAs get lifted and all the YouTubers put out their videos, but not with laptops? I want to go and see what these laptops look like. I want to go and see the benchmarks. I want to go and see. I've got a few questions myself. The first one I've got, big question is, do you really think the M1 Max will power 6K displays? These Pro, what do they call them? Pro XDR? XDR. They're just called the XDR displays, right? I think they're the Pro XDR, the ones Apple make that are about $20,000 a pair each, 20,000 bucks each. Are you telling me, is Apple telling me you can plug in one Thunderbolt 4 cable into one port and then into one of these monitors, and then you can daisy chain two additionals, and you can also use the HDMI output port for a fourth monitor? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. The reason I don't believe it is because I struggle so hard to get my monitor set up here using a 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro running dongle heaven because of however Apple decided to limit the buses and everything. I've got to run dongles for extra HDMI outputs. And now they're telling me you can run a single port, just one of the ports, and run three monitors. Not that I have any of these monitors, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to see probably Marques Brownlee, right? I think he's got a couple of these ProRes XDR monitors. Maybe he could borrow another one and then do this test of putting three together. H-Man in the house, maybe because iPhones are much more profitable and more made. How you doing, man? Let's bring up the chats. It's just you and me, dude. Good morning or good evening, depending on what you did last night. I know you did a 19-hour stream the day before, and then I think you were out like a light last night. But yeah, good point. Maybe because iPhones are more profitable and more made. So as it stands right now, I'm literally waiting to see these things being used. If we go over to YouTube, if we go here and we actually search M1 Pro, I guess we could just go, well, probably, let's go M1 MacBook Pro. I mean, this is now an entire week since the announcement. So Monday was the announcement. Good morning. Oh, it's morning for you too, H-Man, is it? Okay, cool. So interesting that shows the Mac Pro. But what I'm getting at here is, if you scroll through all these, no one's got one yet. Rene Ritchie hasn't got one. Marques Brownlee hasn't got one. Greg's Gadgets hasn't got one. These are all just people speculating, right? This is the M1 MacBook. I guess that's probably not the best search term because it's now called the M1 Pro or the M1 Max. I guess we'll just go M1 Pro. So Apple didn't tell you something. Here's the most powerful blah, blah, blah. Still haven't got one. Neither does Marques. There's me. Hello, me. Damn Apple. Linus Tech Tips. No one's got one. No one's got one, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's been a week since they've been announced and no one's got one. So isn't the idea of these big tech reviewers to whet our appetite and get us psyched and get us stoked for it? Is this, by the way, is this a thing that they always do, or have I just not noticed it? I feel like this is, I don't think this is normal. I think you normally see you normally see people with them straight away, don't you? Like reviewers. I mean, I guess it's playing on my head because my machine's dying right now, or it seems to be. Well, my CalDigit TS3, which is what I use to run one of my monitors, just doesn't allow the monitor to work anymore. It comes on for 8 seconds, then it glitches and just turns off, and then it comes back on for 8 seconds, then it glitches and turns off. Now, I haven't heard back from CalDigit yet, but I believe that's a bus issue. I believe that's the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro having trouble with their bus power on the Thunderbolt port. That's what I feel. So that's why one of my monitors is sitting off, and I'm just using an old school one here to get through. And that's why I'm really keen to see. I mean, I'm probably still going to use my dongles. I don't have any USB-C monitors anyway, so I'm not going to. I mean, I guess I could go USB-C HDMI. Is that a thing? Is there a converter? USB. Let me just take a look at that. USB-C to HDMI. The very first thing that comes up. Oh, there is. $22. There's an Anker one. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, I could probably buy a couple of those and just plug directly in. 4-in-1. Interesting. I did not know that was even a thing. What I'm getting at is that if I have... So I'm looking at the M1 Mac. I'm looking at the M1 Max MacBook Pro. That's a struggle to say. The M1 Max MacBook Pro. To replace this 2019 16-inch. And I'm just wondering if those things are available, I could probably. There's 3 ports on the new MacBook Pro Max, and there's 3 on the Pro as well. MacBook Pro. Seriously? Is it the M1 MacBook Pro and the M1 Max? Is it the M1 MacBook Pro and the M1 MacBook Pro Max? Is that what you're supposed to say? That's an awful decision to call them that. Should have just called them M2, right? The M1 MacBook Pro already exists. It's been out forever. The M1 MacBook Pro is the new one, and the M1 MacBook Pro Max is the maxed out version of the M1 MacBook Pro. I mean, I don't want to put them down for the lame name decisions, but that is pretty lame. But I'm just wondering if it's only got 3 ports. I'm going to look into these. Well, hang on. I've already got the dongles. I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead. But because the reason I haven't thought that far ahead is because I haven't seen anyone use them yet. I want to see the use case. I want to see some big tech reviewers going, don't think about running this and that because it's not going to work because of blah, blah, blah. Bling, blong, blang. Hendrik's laughing out loud. That's what I have. I don't have anything else. The other thing I'll say that this stream was going to start 9 a.m. as usual, but I went surfing instead because there was the onshore winds coming and I wanted to sneak one in before that happened, and I did. Snuck it in and then the onshore winds came. But thanks, I guess I'm just thanking H-Man for being here. If you are watching the replay and you've got some comments about this, if you think you know why, like if someone can tell me why Apple don't issue review units to big YouTubers of their laptops, because I don't know if this is the thing that I'm just noticing, or is it a thing that they've always done. And have I got it wrong? I feel like the day of the phone announcements, YouTube gets flooded because these reviewers that have had them for weeks, their NDA's lifted and they can go ahead and put out their video. These guys shoot videos weeks in advance, and they schedule them to go live the minute after the Apple announcement ends. That's what we see with the phones. So I'm just wondering why that doesn't happen with the laptops. I'm also wondering if I've got it wrong and it hasn't always happened. Now, normally on a live stream, we'd sit back and chew the fat and have a good chat, but it's just Hendrik and me here at the moment. I do see the numbers. There's 3 people watching and there are 3 likes. Thank you very much for the 3 likes, the 3 of you that are here watching. I appreciate that. I will end this stream here unless someone's got something extremely exciting to tell me or extremely relevant. I'll take exciting or relevant or exciting and relevant. It's up to you. I will be coming back later on DLive and just chewing the fat, hanging out. But this is more of a focused stream. Yeah, so if you've got anything you want to add, do it now. Otherwise, I'll wrap this up and I'll say ta-ta to the tubes of you. Maybe, Hendrik, you want to tell us a little about your 19-hour streaming extravaganza. Be interested in hearing about that. Or we'll just say, whoops, thank you, YouTube. What is also interesting is the Pixel 6 announcement. Right, I didn't see it. I haven't seen it, but I guess we can have a little look-ski. What is the Pixel 6? Pixel 6? I won't be playing any announcement though. Pixel 6. Google Pixel 6, Pixel's most advanced camera. So it's a phone, right? But the very first thing they tell you about is the camera. Okay. A whole new Pixel inside and out. 3 colors. Wow, that's a nice camera sort of setup. Sorta seafoam, or kinda coral, or stormy black. That looks cool. Completely reimagined, uniquely yours. Pixel's very own powerhouse. Google Tensor. Our new custom-built chip keeps your phone fast, your games rich, and your personal info safe. What was that noise? All new camera. Capture more light in detail in every shot. Get rid of distractions and keep fast-moving subjects in focus. Fart smart and personalized for you. Experience Pixel and blah, 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 blah. Bling, blong, blang, blang. Okay, what's so special about the camera? The bigger sensor. Ooh, hello. Capture more color, more detail, and 150% more light. With the ultra-wide lens in the back, get even more of your world in shot. Okay. Oh, well, hello. These are images. Wow, look at that cat. What is going on with that? Why is that cat so funky colors? I've never seen a cat that looks like that. She's just chilling. Okay, what's this? There's a little over thing. Say goodbye to photo bombers. Magic eraser has erased her arm by the look of it. Where's her right arm? Remove strangers and unwanted objects in Google Photos. Where's the example of that? Oh, this dude behind. Okay. It's a bit cumbersome how that worked. Okay, so he got rid of the legses. Okay, cool, cool. Make your subject the hero. Motion mode adds... Wow, so it captures the pixels and then blurs the background. That's pretty rad. So I can just leave this on this and it will just keep doing it. Is that right? Don't touch anything. Nope. Take your mouse off. Nope. Interesting. Take my mouse off this and it goes through. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's really fixed that image, hasn't it? Wow, really fixed her face. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Take authentic, accurate portraits. Portraits on Pixel represent the nuances of all skin tones for people beautifully and authentically. Ah, yeah, so people of dark-skinned colors have always had a difficult time for phones to represent that correctly. I still don't get what this color swab is for. Like, is that an effect or is that what he had on his eye? Because that doesn't look authentic if it's an effect. That's pretty cool. All-day battery. They're loving it in a cave. They're out rock climbing. Charges 50% in about 30 minutes. Okay. A beautiful new experience that adapts to match your style. Okay, so it's custom. Hendrik, they gave out review units, but reviewers aren't allowed to do detailed reviews of this Pixel. Are you talking about the Pixel here, Hendrik, or are you talking about the laptops? Pixel learns what you need and puts it in front and center. So I guess Apple iPhones will do that next issue as well. Speak fluent Spanish or Japanese or French. You'll get your chats translated in real time. Listen to podcasts with translated captions. Translated captions or translated? Interesting. No internet needed. Okay. Made to last. Advanced security, blah, blah, bling, blong, blang. Pocket-sized personal security guard. Interesting. I mean, that does look pretty cool. That does look pretty cool for someone who doesn't use, for someone who doesn't even use an Apple iPhone update, because I'm on the iPhone 7 Plus. That looks pretty sweet. I like those camera features. I'm guessing we're going to see this roll out into the iPhone next time. Apple typically just wait and watch and copy, right? I'm assuming, Hendrik, you're talking about these Pixel phones that they gave out review units. I tell you what, though, we're going to wrap this up here. Thanks for letting me know about the Pixel, Hendrik. We're going to wrap it up here. If anybody has any answers to my question that I did ask at the beginning of the stream, why does this happen? Hendrik, yeah, it was about the Pixel. I watched Marco's review and he kept saying, oh, but I can't talk about that yet. Oh, wow. So it stipulated what you can and can't. Maybe these features aren't finalized yet. They're not quite. These are like what it's going to do, but it's not doing it yet. And the review units aren't featured. They're not using those features yet. Maybe. But yeah, we'll wrap this up here. But if anybody does have the answer, like what I was asking earlier about why doesn't Apple send out review units of laptops, I'm not asking for one myself. Let me be clear about that. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking in general. If people go to the internet. See, and this is the problem in my mind. All this does is get YouTubers to create videos that are misleading, right? All that happens is YouTube gets flooded with people making a video telling you what the Apple announcement already told you. So therefore, it makes the experience of learning about these products tedious because no one has any information. But they're all telling you, or they're all trying to tell you something new, right? Oh, this is what Apple didn't tell you, blah, blah, blah. You don't know because you haven't got one. So what it is it's misleading. It would be much, much, much better if Apple did the release, the keynote, and then NDAs were lifted and reviewers could say, here it is right here. I've been testing it for the last week and a half and holy balls, right? This is insane. Instead, we've got to sift through hundreds of YouTubers going, the new MacBook Pro M1 and Pro and the MacBook Pro M1 Max is great because, and then they just go through and tell you what you've already seen on the keynote. Maybe YouTube should not allow those videos. YouTube's famous for not allowing all kinds of things. Those kind of things is misleading. That could fall under spam and scams. I mean, I got done for spam and scams by restreaming, telling you to go to DLive on my YouTube streams. I got told I got a community guidelines warning for doing that. Spams and scams is what they nabbed me for scams. I'm like, I'm not scamming anyone. I'm just saying I can't broadcast my entire stream on YouTube because they'll ding me. So come over to DLive, and they're like, you can't do that. You're taking people off YouTube. Yeah, I'm only doing that because you won't let me showcase the stuff that I want to show. Other sites do. So. Pertsky coming in at the very, very end. How you doing, man? Your week off has been fun, I guess. So I'm going to wrap this up, but good to see you, Pertsky. We're going to hit DLive a little while later on. I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm going to edit my surfing video from today. I'll see you Yahoos this time or maybe earlier next week on YouTube and daily on DLive. You know the deal. See you over there, Yahoos. You beautiful specimens. Thank you, Apple. For what? I don't know. Get that out of there.